Hey guys, welcome back to Contest Prep University. I'm Joe Klemczewski with Adam Atkinson. We're going to continue our how-to series talking about how to communicate with your coach. And Adam, I know we could get into the weeds of how-to. Let's set up a day, let's email, let's do phone calls. But you're talking more about in our kind of show prep, you know, some of these hard conversations about when you're not in agreement or you really want to stretch the boundaries a little bit, and how do you have those tough conversations?
Yeah, I think clients should never feel awkward to bring up something, that might be negative or in disagreement, because they are paying for service, and, it's just going to prolong them being unhappy, especially if it's not addressed right away. So I think a good thing is, like, for instance, let's say you just did a national competition and you're like, hey, I think you need to be leaner, but the client doesn't want to be leaner. And I think it's good to talk about those things. And if you're not in complete agreement, I will sway a little bit to make a client happy, especially if we have a serious conversation and say, hey, we'll do it your way. And I'm not going to say you were wrong if you don't get the call out you want. We will just ask for feedback and see what we need to do. So it's never about being right or wrong. It's just that communication that's just going to make you guys a better team.
And I think that's a great point, that this works both ways. I've learned more than ever, and I say this all the time. People probably will recognize me bringing up this point, but back in the day when I was working with hundreds and hundreds of clients at a time, 18 hours a day, just emailing clients, it was difficult to break away and have some more in-depth conversation. But, now I hold my client load just a little bit closer to the vest, and I look for those opportunities. I mean, multiple times already this week, I've asked clients for a phone call. Let's jump on the phone. This is a point we can clarify. Brand new clients that started working with me, they hired me last night. I immediately said, how about we jump on the phone in the morning? Because I just want to make sure we're on the same page. And they instantly emailed me back after that phone call saying, man, that was great. It was so cool to be able to chat with you, get all this stuff fleshed out, in person, so to speak. So anyway, I think that's just important, man. I think it's so valuable to take that time, both from a coaching perspective and a client perspective. And if you're not willing to do that as a client, to reach out, and you're not willing to do that as a coach, then there are going to be some problems you could probably avoid.
Yeah, I always find phone calls are great preventative maintenance for those types of situation too. And yeah, the sooner you solve an issue, the better you can both be on the same page right away, or at least back in agreement. So.
And on this whole point of communication, we've talked about creating a client experience. And again, back when I would have 20, 30, 40 clients on a given weekend competing, I would make my rounds to the bigger shows, but I always felt like I probably actually give less service if I'm at the show. Because if I'm at home, I can be responsive instantly to every client who needs something. If I'm at a show talking to somebody for 5 or 10 minutes and I've got 17 messages that came through, like I'm not giving anybody my best service, but I understand the value of being at some of these shows where you get to see somebody face to face. And, either way you handle that, I think has to be thought through so that you are providing the single best form of communication.
Yeah, you have to make sure you don't spread yourself too thin. It's a good example. I was at Nationals a couple weekends ago. I felt so connected with those clients. It was awesome. On the same page, I felt very disconnected from my people emailing me. And I made sure they knew that. And, I think for new coaches, this is something you learn over time. And it's really cool because I'll have old clients who worked with me 3 or 4 years ago. They re-sign up with me. I'm like, I can't wait for you to get the new experience, because I thought I was good then. I'm way better now. So.
Right. I'm the same way, man. I was just talking to somebody in person, Austin Kiergaard in South Dakota. And I said, yeah, I mean, everybody knows my pioneering parts of my career as a coach, but I'm actually having more fun, and I know I'm getting better results now. I mean, you know, the first 400 to 500 pro cards, you know, aside, you are just in far better hands because of my experience now. So that's great that you brought that up.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys, there's some information I hope that helps you guys become better communicators as clients and coaches. And we're gonna roll into some more cool information. So we'll catch you next time.